Hello, and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. Say hi, Mia. Say hi to Say hi to everybody. Over here. Say hi. Look how pretty. This is Mia. As she's made a few appearances before. This is our blind miniature dachshund. She's beautiful. She knows it. She's also a killer. She would like to dispose of Edie Mae, our newest little girl. All right. I've had enough of you. You've made your appearance. So welcome. This is Becky of Becky's House of Sewing, where we speak of all things thread and needle. And I just wanted to pop in and give you a little update about what I've been up to in the last week or two. Mia's hanging out with me because the girls are still being separated. We are working on that and improving, but definitely not to be left alone. It is August 6th, and it just started raining, a little thunderstorm, a little summer thunderstorm. As a Florida girl, that is always good to my heart. But here in Charlotte, it may make a big noise. Mia might bark. The lighting might be weird. Who knows? All things are crazy. But, you know, we're in the sewing room. How bad could it be? Totally, by the way, avoiding laundry. But laundry will get done because it has to get done. So why bother trying to make time for it, right? That's what I say. So, what have I been up to? I've been kind of making some bags. I am taking a class at the Quilt Patch in Stallings, North Carolina, in the end of September. I'm taking the Halo class, which I think I talked about the last time. I got the templates and all that kind of stuff. Maybe Ron will join me. Here you go. This is the Halo. It's by Jen Kingwell, Australia's favorite quilter. And I love it. Love it. I can't wait to do it. So I talked to Teresa, the teacher, and I think I can prep by cutting those little squares out. Those little squares. I'd like to fussy cut some, and fussy cut just meaning Ron, because I know you're listening. Just being very specific on how I'm cutting it so that a cute part of the pattern will show. And like if it's a cute little animal, then I'm cutting the whole animal out, kind of thing. But then where do I put it? So I thought, well, I clearly need to make a bag. So I have had this pattern in my possession for a very, very long time. And it's called, now I'm not going to remember the exact name of it, but it's essentially a model after the IKEA bags, and it's 3 different sizes. So I made the medium size. Look, it's really floppy. It doesn't have its handles yet. I've ordered some Tula Pink webbing to make the handles. I ordered some and then I didn't like the color combo, so I ordered some more. Yay! So I've just finished the binding on the top this morning, but see, it's got those boxed corners and everything is covered. It's fairly easy to make. The longest part of this is obviously the quilting of it. And I used the quilting technique. Oh, I should have grabbed that book. We had a teacher at the Charlotte Quilters Guild 5 years ago or so that had a wonderful class on walking foot quilting and different techniques and patterns and such like that. And one of her patterns is basically you're echoing the pattern, but you're kind of making it like a wood grain. So you just kind of make a wavy line as you like and then echo it. And I did a color. I really like quilting with colors, colored fabric, colored fabric, of course, colored fabric, Becky, come one colored thread. So it shows a little bit. And this, it's kind of blowing out a little bit, but it's yellow, but I don't know if you can see the purple. Let me show you on the inside. So the yellow kind of fades away in this because it's yellow, but you see the darker line is a darker purple. Just because you get bored quilting sometimes and you just need something new. So I still have lots of threads. Let me cut one as I see it because I'll never find it again until I'm in a place that's not near a scissors. So go ahead and cut them. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm excited to start collecting fabrics for the halo quilt, putting them in here, prepping my templates, you know, if I am going to fussy cut some, getting them all put in one place. So when it comes time, I can just grab my bag and my machine and out the door I go. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. The other, as far as cross stitch goes, well, let me stick on the bags. Ron, my neighbor, hi Ron, watched my last episode where I was talking about thinking about making bags, project bags to sell for cross stitch kind of sizes, and requested some specific for some ornaments he was making. And let's congratulate him that it's August and he's working on Christmas. Very impressive. Us crafters, we have to start early, don't we? Anyway, so I instantly whipped some up, and that just was a fire that inspired me to get some things all prepped and ready. So I do have, I'm not going to show you because it's a mess. It's not easy to show, but I did go ahead and cut out some fabric. I did some math and calculated the components I would need, and so I have it all cut out ready for assembly, which I'm excited about. And I'll show you one thing in haul when I get to it. So I've been making some bags. I also met a friend of mine who wanted to learn some English paper piecing, or EPP. And so of course you have to make a cute little bag and a cute little kit. So I cut out some papers for her from my Cricut and whipped up a little bag, which actually was the corners, because when you do the box cut you have quite a bit of leftover. It was the corners of my bag that I made, and I put a cute little purple zipper on it, and it was adorbs. So I've been making project bags. But as far as cross stitch goes, oh, I'm missing. Can you tell I didn't make notes today? Well, I'm talking about the English paper piecing. I brought this project that I was working on, which is called Nutmeg, and this is a kit from Tales of Cloth, another Australian quilt company that I highly recommend that you follow. They do have a Hexie book that is a PDF that is not super expensive. It's, I think, less than $10 actually, and it gives you like 20 Hexie patterns for quilts. So I did a little bit of that. This was, see if I didn't get this all prepped and ready. Oops, oh, tragic. Okay, so this was, I was working on this guy, and this will be the diamonds that go all around the side. So I was able to get all the triangles on this block. So again, displaying is not easy. So this and this. So that's what I worked on with my friend today at the Starbucks. Starbucks is a great place to stitch, just letting you know. So last we spoke, I was working on cedar waxwing by Not Forgotten Farms. I'm no longer working on that. I got really frustrated with the color choices. Um, so I have not been able to find her website to see if there were any corrections or anything like that, but sometimes the cover shot is not what the color choices look like, which was the case with the cedar waxwing. And I thought at one point, obviously last time I was talking, it was about the bird. The bird was too brown, and a cedar waxwing is more of a gray and yellow, or as we discussed in stitching, a taupe in yellow. And then it was sitting on top of a bowl of, let's say, oranges. But the oranges in the picture looked really yellow. So I was going to start then, I abandoned the bird and I started from the bottom and started building the basket and started doing the oranges or the fruit. And I hated the fruit color as well. The basket was fine. So I tossed it aside and started something that was going to make my heart happy. In the other cross-stitch group I'm in, as most stitching groups do, we share supplies, or if we bought patterns and we're not going to use them, we just kind of exchange and give away, and happy surprises for our stitchy friends. And this was one of those items. I don't know what year. Oh, 2014. This is 2014. Caroline Behringer, and this is Summer House Stitch Works, which I went to her website. I honestly don't know if she's still, I assume it's a she, if they are still producing anything, but I love this one. And come to find out, this is the antique, that's the word I'm looking for. This is the antique sampler, and it's made out of wool, and it's charted for wool, but it also has a lovely DMC conversion, which is what I'm doing. And yeah, so I kind of fell in love with the colors and the alphabet. This is an old alphabet, so not all the letters are in there. I believe this one is missing. Usually in an older alphabet, the J is missing, but in this one the I is missing, so they go H, J, K. I don't know if you see that. But this lady, this sampler was procured in Pennsylvania, but the original stitcher is from Germany, and in a part of Germany that my husband kind of used to live near, so when he lived in Germany for a few years. So I was like, oh, that's even better. No wonder I love it. So, trying to kill my needle. Let me show you where I'm at. So I started this almost immediately after my last video. So, and it's one of those that I'm addicted to. I kind of think about night and day. So I've got a lot done. And so I've done the start of all the alphabets. This is how wide it is. And I've gotten all the way down. The next line is going to be her name and the place and the date. And I actually, for a reproduction sampler, I normally will personalize it, but I don't think I'm going to on this one. I think I'm going to actually keep true to the original, to the reproduction. What's wrong with me? I've had a lot of coffee today. I don't know if I've had too much. I've gone too far. And I've lost all my words. Maybe that's the case. But okay. Details. Here are my threads. All my thread drops. Aren't they great colors? I know, again, it's kind of dark and rainy outside, so The colors are getting blown out a little bit, but they're luscious. They're just wonderful. And this is on 40 count, so I'm using 1 thread over 2 threads of linen. And this material is from Legacy Linens. I got it from hoopandframe.com when I was buying my last 6-inch frame from them, which I love their wood frames. It's just a hoop. It's a 5/8 of an inch thick hoop, and it just feels really good in my hand. It's light enough, thick enough to not hurt my wrist to hold for long periods of time, but I didn't think it needed to ship home by itself, so I threw this linen in, and it's Fuller's Teasel 40 count linen, and it's it's beautiful. All the colors really go nicely. I love it. So that's really all the cross stitch I've done. I've just done nothing but that one since I started it, and got so frustrated with the cedar waxwing that I just needed something that I loved. So that's kind of what I've been stitching and what I've been up to. Mia, can you stop pacing, please? Come here. Come here. Can you just lay down? Sweet girl. She's so excitable. She's my sweet girl. Okay, so other things I have procured. Let's go into haul. Yes, Mia would like to help with the haul. See, it's okay. You're all good. But now I can't pick up the haul. I can only pick up the dog. All right, in no particular order, because I'm going to be doing my project bags with zipper tape instead of pre-made zippers. So I got a zipper jig so that I can easily put the zipper pull on the zipper case. And this is just a Gypsy, the Gypsy Quilter brand, which is a well-known brand. Amazon brought it to me. I love the Amazon. I don't care what anybody says. And then I got some other charts from our little exchange in the group. I got this one. Isn't that cool? I thought that was really pretty. And I got this one because I really love the Chicken Club from Lori Holt. Really like the fabric quilt, but I knew I didn't want to make a quilt, but cross stitch, I'm in. A free chart as well, I'm in. And then I got these cute little stitch cards, which are totes adorbs. I got some for her Christmas version too. She has a lot of different stitch cards for you to choose from. And then from the Fat Quarter Shop, I just got the pack of floss to go with this. And it comes with these little bobbins, which I won't use because I don't like my thread that way anymore. This is what they end up looking like right there. And I just don't, that's not how I do it. So if any of you want it, let me know. If you want the little Floss Flowers thread bobbins. That's what I'm trying to say. And while I was on the site, I got some more rings. These are actually, I should have gotten the 2-inchers. These are 3s, but what am I going to do, cry about it? No, I'm not. Thank you for laughing. If you're laughing, thank you. And I think that's pretty much all I've gotten in the last couple weeks. I've really have some plans to just do things with what I have, but not necessarily need to buy anything, but we'll see. As far as my plans go, or I talked about my quilting plans, kind of continue to prep for the Halo class. I'd like to continue to work on some of my donation quilts for my quilt guild. I am going to also, there's a couple of things in the cross stitch world that are happening. There's some Flosstubers that, and I forget who originated it, so I apologize. I've only heard, I haven't seen the podcast video, Flosstube episode of the person who created this hashtag, but I've seen a lot of people who have watched her and talked about it. But there's somebody that has started or wants to start a hashtag called BAP to School, starting in September. Maybe it's going on now. But BAP stands for Big Ass Project, which I tend to enjoy. So I think I have a couple of samplers that would work for that. Obviously a unicorn and a badger and a peacock. That's not in the right order. But, you know, this episode is not in the right order. That's definitely a big ass project. I also have the Dutch sampler. Let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, so this is a peacock, a unicorn, a badger, maybe not in that order, by the Scarlet House. That is a very big project. And then let me go into cross stitch tab, and I'm pulling this app is the Good Notes app. It has been life-changing for me in the cross-stitch world. It holds my patterns, and it goes across. I usually prefer to stitch on the couch, and I use my iPad, and it allows me to, I have a large screen iPad, so it allows me to blow up the grid real easily, and specifically this sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews, which came out 2020-ish time frame. I've only got like one little corner in this, like over here, done, so I'd like to continue to work on that. But this pattern, this chart, was very hard to read, which is a little unusual for Liz Matthews. Hold on, I'm marking it up and not meaning to. This has been very helpful because I can highlight where I'm at. Kind of like, I don't want to show you the chart. Oops, sorry. I can highlight the chart, but if I like use my phone instead of my iPad, it updates on all devices. That's really the biggest thing. So no matter what iPad I use, no matter what device I use, I'm up to date on all the things, so I know where I'm at on a pattern. And just being able to pinch it open, it's been very nice. I am tempted to use the other, they advertise a lot of like journaling and note-taking and stuff like that on there. I have not done any of that yet. It appeals to me, but I just haven't had the time to do so. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's like literally all I have. It's still a lot. I'm a working lady. I'm not embarrassed by the amount. There's not a lot. I feel like I talk fast about it because I'm very excited. I do feel like just very grateful. I'm very excited and pleased with the amount of community I have around my hobby, which helps fuel the fire, but also just, I don't know, I think about, like, I've been in the Charlotte, Waxhaw area of North Carolina for over a decade, and just, it's remarkable of how fast time goes and how part of the community I feel, whether it's online or with friends and family or new stitchy friends or quilting. It's kind of exciting and fuels the fire. So it's just a moment of gratitude. So thanks Ron and Connie for forcing me to do videos. They don't force me, but they do harass me from time to time if I don't put one out soon enough. Being able to have a whole room to myself in my house of sewing. I have a whole room that I can shut the door when I don't want to see the mess. I have great friends and family who have taught me the ways of quilting and cross-stitching and sewing and all that kind of stuff. So very fun. I will leave you with some recommendations. This is a book recommended by my mother, and I now highly also recommend it. It's called Lessons in Chemistry. It's a very popular book. It is going to be an Apple TV movie or series or something. My mother read it in like one day. She couldn't put it down. She loved it. And I know why, because it's a great book from the start. So if you are at all interested in strong, level-headed, smart women, you'll love this book. And then I have been, I do most of my book reading through Audible because I'm in the car so much driving for work. So it's been very enjoyable. And I started also listening to A Secret Garden, which isn't a child's book, but it's a classic, and it's fun to relive that story a little bit. Because I do have a strong desire to just go back and re-listen to Lessons in Chemistry. It's like, let me do something I haven't done in a while. So first, and then I'll probably re-listen to that. I'm not ashamed. I like to re-watch and re-listen to things quite a bit. And I think part of the reason why I like to do that is because I like to do it while I'm doing sewing, and if I already know what's happening, I kind of don't have to listen or pay attention as much, especially when we watch TV. That comes in very handy. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Adieu to you and you and you and you and you and you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope to see you again in the very near future. Bye.